Good morning, everybody. My name is Bill Fukui. I'm with Page One Solutions, and we are an internet marketing firm that specializes in cosmetic and plastic surgery. And today I wanted to share a topic that's maybe a little bit beyond just talking about SEO or website design, and really address some new and emerging opportunities for plastic surgeons. And one of those opportunities is inbound marketing. I was actually at a meeting a couple of maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was in a room full of surgeons and their administrators, and in that meeting I asked everybody if any of them was familiar with the concept inbound marketing or heard of it before, and I didn't get one person raise their hand and indicate what it was. So it became pretty obvious that this is a marketing strategy that most practices aren't familiar with, so that my goal today is shed a little more light on it. But just so you guys know, the opportunities in inbound marketing, what is inbound marketing is, this is actually a report that kind of shows a trend. This is Google Trends, which identifies the volume of searches being done for different keyword phrases. And in this case, I'm comparing inbound marketing to database marketing. Inbound being the blue line, database marketing being the red. And over the course of time, in fact, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, you can probably see a distinct trend where there's actually more searches being done online researching inbound marketing than even database marketing. In fact, it's probably well over twice as many searches for inbound than database marketing. So this is not a new trend. It may be new in the plastic surgery industry, but certainly not in the marketing world. So what is inbound marketing? Inbound marketing really focuses more, instead of on pushing your message out like traditional advertising, it is about how to attract and bring prospects to you and your content and your information. And again, it's about earning it, not through just sending out salesy messages, but the credibility of your information and becoming a resource and authority figure in the types of topics you're wanting to promote. Again, it is about content. In fact, a lot of terms you're going to find that people are actually searching for content marketing, referring to inbound marketing, because it really is very similar. Content marketing and inbound is really about getting better information to your prospective patients. The other thing is it needs to be automated. There needs to be some part of the campaign that is automated, mainly to maintain a consistency and also the timing. Event-triggered presentation of information is really important element to making sure that people are getting your information at the right time. And it is generated through database and email marketing. It's the most direct way of getting this information to consumers who've already demonstrated an interest in it. And as I kind of mentioned, and I'll kind of emphasize this, any sales operation is familiar with the fact that sales happens when you get the right information in front of the right people, but key is at the right time, when it's of interest, when they're in the market for things, or when they're in the buying cycle of this. So when you're talking about inbound, and understand, especially with plastic surgery, this statistic that shows that not all qualified leads, and I mean people that are interested and also have the money to pay for cosmetic and plastic surgery, they're not always at a point when they're on your site that they're ready to purchase immediately or contact you even. So the statistics on nurturing leads is important, and how you stay in front of them. And by nurturing leads, you're going to generate a higher volume of sales-ready types of leads into your office. But even more important is that the leads that are going to be coming are typically, you're developing your prospects, not just hoping they fall in your lap. So they typically will spend more money than non-nurtured leads. The other thing what I mentioned was automation, and automation is about generating those consistent exposures at the right time, and when you do that, you will see immediate increases in your revenue, and you're also going to find that businesses that use marketing automation, they typically increase the qualified leads, and in this statistic, we're talking, you know, better than fourfold increase. So these are the kinds of things you need to kind of keep in mind, and why you need to be doing this. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up generating a higher quality lead at a fraction of the cost of what you would typically spend to advertise to get those same leads. Okay, so in order to understand how database and inbound marketing works, you really need to identify 3 goals. And the first goal is, how do you take all the visitors that come to your site and convert a higher percentage of those into actual working leads? The other one is, second goal is going to be how to convert these leads, now that they come via email specifically, into actual phone call leads. We all know that emails don't convert in your practice nearly at the same level or rate that phone call leads do. And so how can you turn those email leads and nurture them so that they're actually turning into conversations with your patient counselor and your office? And third goal is going to be how to consistently market and nurture not only to your existing patients, which most practice management software does offer the ability to email communicate with your existing patients, but they almost have to be a patient of record before you consistently get high quality messages and timing out to them. We need to make sure that all those include your leads and prospects as well. And each one of these goals, as it relates to the deployment and the execution of your campaign, each one has a different strategy and really a different set of content and delivery points. So the first goal is to convert more traffic into leads. And how do you do that? Understanding that the vast majority of people that visit your site are not all in the same stage of the buying cycle or the buying journey. So when you're looking at people that visit your site, you're going to find people that are early in the decision-making stage, what we refer to as in the awareness stage, and then more of an intermediate stage, which is the consideration. They're certainly moving towards, this as a decision and looking more for deeper information. And then ultimately you get to the decision phase where they're actually, contacting you and looking into having procedures and treatments done. And their profiles are slightly different as they move through this. And then the kind of information that they're looking for is slightly different as well. Somebody that's earlier in the buying cycle is more for, education, learning about the procedures, learning about the treatments. People that are, later in it are either wanting more targeted information, or when they're ready to pull the trigger, they're really looking for answers. So the kinds of content or types of content you can be putting in front of them, it's going to range from, tips and white papers to those that aren't ready to do something, to those that are really more ready to act on it. This is what you're seeing, on a lot of websites, and it's the free consultation. Oops, let me advance that. This is what you're seeing on most websites. It's the free consultations. It's promoting reviews, and if there's if people are asking for an estimate or a quote or a price, and then, if there's any kind of discounts or coupons, those kinds of things. Those are for people that are later in the buying cycle. Unfortunately, and this is important, even on high converting websites, you may convert only about 4 to 5% of the visitors into an actual working lead. It's the other 95% of the people that visit your site that don't call and email. That is really where the greatest opportunity is. Yes, you'll generate leads, but I'm trying to look at other opportunities to help nurture and turn visitors and cultivate and develop them into high quality prospects. And that's what inbound marketing does. And the way that it does that is through the use of low commitment calls to action that are segmented, that are specific to particular treatments. So you, instead of having an ebook, say, on cosmetic surgery, you have something very specific on your breast augmentation page, maybe a consumer guide or checklist or how to do things. But it's specific to breast augmentation and in that breast augmentation pages. And when you download this content, it isn't necessarily free. They need to at least identify who they are in order to access it. And you've probably been on websites where you have to fill out a form in order to get something. Well, this is no different. I mean, consumers are getting used to doing that in order to access the information that they want and the resources that they want. So when they fill out the custom, contact form to access that information, all of that information needs to be instantly collected. You can't rely on staff simply because they don't have the time to monitor and move people into a database. So a lot of that has to be automated, and then the follow-up, campaigns that go out, secondary and tertiary pieces of content about that same topic that are deeper, more informative. And you're going to find that those people are going to get this information and move down the buying cycle, and you're the one providing them that information. The key is that the information that's being sent is event triggered, that there is something that these people did that indicates that the timing is right to stay in front of them and the information is highly relevant. So just to make this visual, this is kind of what you're looking at. There will be a download information. There's also a form for people to fill out to access it. And when they fill out the form, they will immediately receive the premium content. And subsequently, they're going to be getting emails, strategic emails that we've developed to help move prospects through the buying cycle. Goal number 2 is to convert these emails when they come in as leads. How do you convert them into actual phone calls? That's the second goal. And unfortunately, most practices, they'll convert out of these email leads, maybe if they're able to, if they get the phone number and stuff, they're able to convert those into calls. But a lot of them don't. They don't have phone numbers, or the information that they're giving on the phone numbers are not accurate. So how do you nurture these email leads and get them to actually call the office? Understand that hot leads are different types of prospects than people that are in your traditional database. To send emails out to your past patients, to your even your prospects and leads. There's difference when people visit your site today than somebody, say, visited your site 6 or 9 months ago. There is the timing that you need to stay in front of them. So hot leads have a separate campaign than your traditional email newsletters and such. So the timing is specific, and they are triggered by the forms, and they really you have to do more than just a one-time email follow-up response if you're wanting to turn these people into phone calls. And they also have to have the opportunity to suspend a campaign if they don't want to get subsequent emails from you. But these are not salesy, and again, it's definitely more quality content and helpful information. So why do you want to stay in front of contacts? We kind of used this statistic earlier, is that 50% of qualified buyers are not ready to purchase today. And most of the sales, at least in plastic surgery, happen after the 5th touch, mainly because of the time frame that it takes to stay, for these patients to make a decision. Goal number 3, it's what you're doing to some degree for most practices. It's staying in front of those people that are either patients, past patients, but I also want you to also consider staying in front of leads and prospects and referrers and other contacts, industry contacts, and get them involved in your links and in your website and in your social media. Email is an important way of doing that, and your newsletters and ongoing updates that you're sending out is an effective way to do that as well. But you want to spend the time to understand that you're trying to build an online community, not necessarily just generate leads with every email I send out. It is about building a rapport and credibility with ongoing consumers. And what will happen is you will develop and build an audience, a community. You'll stimulate more loyalty and active opening and engagement of your materials. And ultimately, all that does is it leads to more reviews, more leads, and ultimately referrals from your existing patients. But the thing that most practices aren't aware of, but by sending them follow-up and getting them back to your website and back to your target pages, it'll also help the SEO value of those pages and of the site, simply because Google sees people coming back again, and it actually values returning visitors more than just one-time visitors and they never come back again. It's because you keep coming back because the information is useful, and Google recognizes that. So at the end of the day, all of this is just part of all of your marketing, your SEO, your email marketing, your paid advertising, your Facebook, social media advertising. It all needs to work together so that the whole is greater than ultimately the sum of its parts. My name is Bill Fukui. I'm with Page One Solutions, and if you have any questions, you can come by booth 858. We'll be in the exhibit hall. We'll look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for attending.